Hi, I'm Stephanie Filo. I'm nominated this year for 3 different shows, for Dahmer, for A Black Lady sketch show, and for History of the World Part 2. The 3 shows that I'm nominated for are all super different, but I think ultimately my favorite thing about editing in general is that no matter what show you're working on, you learn something new every day and you collaborate with different people every day. So, I know on these 3 shows, that is especially the case, but on Dahmer, our collaboration was very different, but it was something where all of the editors would kind of check in with each other every day, make sure that we were, doing okay health-wise, because it's a very heavy subject, but also just thinking of new, different ways to kind of tell a story like this in a way that wasn't sensationalized. On History of the World, we all had very extremely different backgrounds editorially, so it was a cool chance to kind of collaborate and figure out these different kinds of genres that we were trying to hit. And on A Black Lady sketch show, I think, it's a team that's known each other for so long and we've all kind of worked on different shows together, so it's an extra special collaboration where we can just say, one day I can say, hey Taylor, I think this will make you laugh, so I put this into my cut, or Melinda, I put this here because I knew this in particular, this improv line would make you laugh. So, I think I'm just honored to be nominated for these 3 that were all special in different ways. For Dahmer, this episode is so different, I think, from the other episodes in that it's kind of his trajectory to becoming a serial killer. We have moments in this episode where we're in Jeffrey's perspective. We don't really have that in the rest of the series. So I had to come up with kind of these different ways to approach it. There's a scene where he drugs himself and it's kind of within his own perspective. So my assistant editor and I really just tried to kind of figure out a way to make the audience feel as if they were in that moment with him. We kind of accordioned the audio tracks, so there's things that are slowed down, some things that have reverb on them. It was an episode that we kind of had more freedom to play around with just because it was so different from the others. For History of the World, I think we all kind of picked or gravitated to the episode that we picked because it just had so many different styles of scenes in it. It's got the Russian Revolution, which is, has all these scenes kind of with Jack Black, for example, but it has also musical numbers. We have a Sigmund Freud masterclass within it. So it was just kind of just an episode that had so many different styles that were this kind of showcases what the show is. And A Black Lady sketch show, I think we all there's so many quotable lines in the episode that I think we all kind of gravitated towards that episode because, it has so many just kind of iconic moments. It has a sketch by Melinda called Fresh to Death, which is kind of like this murder podcast with a fresh spin on it. We have Black Lady Courtroom, which is one of our iconic Black Lady sketch show sketches. So it's just one that we kind of gravitated towards. I was sitting, it was 8 or 7:30 or something in the morning. I was sitting on the couch with my dad, who was in town visiting, and I got a text from Robin Thede, who's our Black Lady sketch show showrunner. And it was to our group, me, Taylor, and Melinda, who are nominated. And she's like, oh my God, congrats, guys. And then about 10 seconds later, she's like, oh my God, congrats, Steph, double nominee in the same category. And then about 3 or 4 minutes later, she sent another one that was oh my God, you got 3. And she called me and was just screaming, and I had no idea what to say or do because I just was so shocked. I've been kind of stunned about these 3 nominations as it is, and then I found out today that I'm the first Black editor that's ever been nominated for 3 series at one time, and I'm also the first editor, period, that's been nominated for 3 different series in the same year. And so I'm, as if I wasn't grateful and humbled enough, this has been just it's a whole other world. I could not have dreamt of this as a kid, and I just am so grateful. So I just hope that I can bring people along for the ride with me the way they've done for me. I think different tools have proved super effective within Avid on each of the shows. Dahmer, like I said before, we kind of used a lot of the RX isotope filters. We played with different audio settings within Avid just to get an overall sound for the show, but we also used things like fluid morph. There's some shots where it looks like it's just Jeff sitting there not moving at all, but it's actually several things stitched together with fluid morph. Knowing Avid and using Media Composer over the years has been monumental for my career, because I think, as editors, we're storytellers, and that's our ultimate goal, is telling a story as authentically as we can. And using Avid, that's just an extra way for us to tell that story. We tell stories with sound, with music, with picture, and Avid is really kind of the tool that helps us do that and helps us do it in an efficient way where, we can map any shortcuts that we want. We can figure out new creative ways to maybe tell things, and that's all because we're doing it within the software. We are the final rewrite of any script. We're the storytellers that help put together whatever was written on a page to picture. So you have a lot of control in the finished product. You have a lot of collaboration. I think a lot of people assume as editors we don't talk to other people. We just sit in a dark room all the time, but that's not true. You spend so many hours of your day talking through story or talking through ways to maybe solve puzzles. If you like puzzle solving, it's a great career to kind of solve a Rubik's Cube every day. So yeah, any advice I would give someone is just to explore it further, learn the tools, learn Avid, learn what editing is and what you're capable of in this business.